Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. I am the emo knitter here on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and this is my little place on the internet where I like to share things that I'm knitting, projects that I've recently finished, and sometimes I do some like vlog style videos as well. If it's your first time here, thank you and welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you see, and please feel free to subscribe to see more of my content. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I am excited to share with you guys today a traditional podcast episode. I believe it's been about a month since my last episode. I did Vlogmas and then I did a end of the year podcast, and it is January 20 something today and I'm just recording. I am a registered nurse. I work in labor and delivery, but I'm also getting my master's right now in exercise science, and my quarter started a couple of weeks ago, and as expected, it's just been a little busy. So I thought that while I have a moment here, I would check in with things that I've been working on. I will start with finished objects, and I only have one this time, but I'm excited about it. These are my finished Oxbow socks. I don't have my sock blockers around, but here they are. So I used Explorer Knits and Fibers. This was in the winter solstice box. Let me see if I do have my notes here, because I can't remember what the main color was called. The main color is called Head in the Clouds. It's not variegated. And the contrast color is called Daydreamer. These are both on the Denali sock base. I started these on, where did they go? December 6th and finished them on January 15th. I followed the pattern exactly. I did a little bit of a pop of color with the contrast here, and I worked the texture for the leg. I did the heel flap and gusset as written in the pattern, and then I also did a contrast toe. And I love the way that these came out. They have not been blocked yet. I'm not one who really blocks my socks. I just wear them and wash them as needed, unless they're like cabled. So this is what they look like. I love this yarn, and the texture in these is really pretty as well. If you have watched my previous podcast, you know that I'm doing a year of socks this year, inspired by Emily Curtis. I am not counting these towards my year of socks as of now. These are kind of a bonus pair because I did start them in December. But if life catches up to me, I have a backup if I need it. But yeah, these are my finished Oxbow socks. And we will just continue on the train of socks, and I will share with you my first pair of socks for my year of socks. These are also using Explorer Knits and Fibers Denali sock. This color is called Visualization, and it was in the winter solstice box from 2024. I have finished the first sock, so I will show that to you now. I am using the Firefly by Jennifer Hagen pattern, and it's in the Knitter's Book of Socks. There's just these really pretty cables, and then a traditional heel flap and gusset, and then I carried the cables down the foot towards the toe pretty much to the end. And I've never done that before, and I really love it. I think it creates a really seamless sock. So this is my first sock, and then I started the leg of the second sock, I think yesterday maybe. I am flying to California this weekend, so I will definitely be able to finish the second sock and have my first pair finished within January. So I started these on January 2nd. I'm making the size medium, and again, this is from the Knitter's Book of Socks. They're called the Firefly socks. And I just love this lavender colorway. So those should be finished here in the next few days. Okay, my next work in progress update, I will share my balloon cardigan, which I'm really excited about. This is a pattern by Petite Knit, And if you've been here before, you know I casted this on as my birthday cast on. And I'm using Explore Innocent Fibers Snoqualmie colorway in Denali Sock and Surrey held together. I've made quite a bit of progress on this. So the last time I recorded, that stitch marker is where I was. So I had kind of just joined in the round, I think, or maybe I had just made the first buttonhole. I can't remember. I was working on this a lot last night and actually almost ran out of the Surrey, so I have to cake up another ball, but I am ready to make the third buttonhole. And then I just kind of need to try it on and make sure it's long enough, and I may start one of the sleeves next. But yeah, this is a Pattern by Petite knit. It starts with the back, like the back neck button band, and then you pick up stitches and work it down. I've said this before, but I love working cardigan patterns where you work the button band while you're working the body of the sweater, and this is one of those. And I'm really excited to finish this and wear it. It is not a super like thick winter garment, but I'm excited to have it for fall. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna move this progress keeper so that I don't forget. And maybe this will be, no, I don't know if it'll be finished next time, but hopefully we'll at least have some work on one of the sleeves, because that is what I'm planning on doing next with this one. I do have some buttons picked out already that I got at La Mercerie. I don't have them pulled out, but maybe I'll share them next time. They're just like kind of dark middle, and I think that they're gonna look really nice with this sweater. I am getting a little tired of purling every other row, so the desire to either pick up a sleeve or cast on something that's stockinette in the round has been very strong the last few days. But I've remained strong and I have not done that, so we'll see what happens in the next week or so. The next whip I will share is my mini season sweaters. I am making a pair of them for my friend's girls, and last time I recorded I was here on the first one. This is the size 1 to 2. I'm knitting this out of Hello Stella Fibers Lavender Latte, which is a colorway I bought in 2020 if I'm remembering correctly. This is a worsted weight. So last time I was at this stitch marker here, and I've since finished the body, done the ribbing, and picked up and knitted the collar. The collar on this sweater is one of my favorite parts. I'm gonna take off the stitch marker. And then I was on a little bachelorette weekend last weekend and brought the yarn with me to start the second one. I'm making this one in a size 2, so 2 to 3 years, and I have finished the body. I still need to do the collar, but I did both the back panel, both shoulders, the front panel, and was ready to knit in the round just on that one weekend trip, knitting basically just on Sunday, and have since finished the body and done the ribbing. And again, just need to pick up the collar, so I'll do that in the next couple of days. And then just for a size comparison, we can see, again, the one doesn't have a collar on it, but maybe I should put them like next to each other. So this is holding them like side by side. Not a huge difference in terms of sizing, but definitely bigger. And I just love the way that they're working out. I am not alternating skeins with this yarn. I am just knitting it the way that it wants to work up, and I am so happy that I'm doing that because I think it's working up really pretty. I have this much left of the 2 skeins that I was using for the body for the second sweater, so this is plenty to pick up the collar. And then I have whatever's left of this plus this and one more skein for the 4 sleeves, and I'm starting to feel like it's gonna be enough. But again, as I say every time I give an update on these whips, I hope that that's not wishful thinking. But I really do feel like a skein of yarn, or a skein and a half of yarn, is plenty to work up 4 sleeves when they're between sizes 1 and 3 years. I think that it'll work up just fine. But I do have the backup plan of the sleeve cuffs in a different color if I need to do that. Um, let's do my Lakes pullover next. So this is a pattern by, oh shoot, I hope I didn't drop stitches. I did not. This is a pattern by Ozetta. This is the Lakes pullover, and I am buddy knitting this with a friend of mine who just learned to knit this year. Last time I did a podcast, we were just working on the body. So I was here and our goal was to finish the skein of yarn that we were using, and I have done that. I don't even know where my end is. It's gotta be over here somewhere. This is all that I have left of the skein. So we have finished that skein of yarn, and then just this morning we actually picked up for the second sleeve. And it does, so it's a saddle shoulder, so the sleeve starts with some short rows. So we did the short row shaping to make the like sleeve cap, and now we are just knitting away and doing decreases as written in the pattern. I love this pattern, and I can definitely see myself making more of these. It just is like very classic in my opinion, and I feel like it's just gonna be a like daily wear for me when it's finished. I'm moving my stitch marker. But yeah, this is the Lakes pullover by Ozetta. I am using Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool in the color Brown Heather, and I'm knitting the size 2. I love the rolled collar in a lot of Ozetta's patterns. And our goal is to finish this in February for the person I'm buddy knitting with. It's her birthday in February, so we have a few weeks to finish, and I think that we are right on track. Our plan is to like individually work up the sleeve and the ribbing and then bind off the sleeve together, and then all we'll have to do is add any extra length to the body and do the ribbing, and then that's it. So this is feeling like it's almost done, and now that we've picked up a sleeve, I feel like this can be my basic stockinette project, and hopefully we'll hold off on casting on anything new, but we'll see. The next project is one that I'm kind of have on hold right now. This is my, I think I am calling it Josie hoodie, or Jose Hood. Josie Hood by Norgard Knitters. I casted this on in December, and I've had it on pause for a little while, not because I don't love it. So I can't remember the brand of yarn I'm using, but it's an Aran weight, and I'm working on the increases right now. And so this, here, I'll put it on. This becomes a hood, and then it turns into a scarf that you can kind of like tie around your neck. The only reason I have it on hold right now is because I'm debating ripping it back and holding this yarn with a mohair, and let me actually grab the mohair that I'm thinking of. Okay, now that I have the mohair, I don't think it's a good match. My plan was to hold this mohair. Yeah, that's not a great match. This is the Muckross color by Explorer Knits and Fibers from the Iceland collection, or Ireland collection. And actually, now that I have this, I don't think that that's a great match. So back to the drawing board, I guess. I could look at my other Surrey. Let me go do that. I'm gonna bring this with me. Okay, I just looked through all of my Surrey, and I don't have a color that matches this really well. So if I want to hold it with a Surrey or a mohair, I would have to buy a Surrey or a mohair, which is fine. I haven't bought any yarn this year, and it would help me finish a project. But maybe I should just keep going and see how it is. I'm just nervous that it's a little thin. But also it doesn't get that cold here. So maybe that's okay. I don't know. Anyways, this is where I was in the last podcast, and I've since done a lot of the increases. Maybe I should just keep working on this and try it on when it's a little bit longer and see how I feel about it. It's really quick to work up, so maybe I should just do that, and then if I'm still feeling like it's not right, I can... Holding a double would be way too thick, but I can think about snagging a mohair from my little yarn shop to hold it with. So that we will see what happens. I have one new cast on, and then I want to talk about some languishing whips that I'm trying to get off my needles. But first, let's do this. So I cast this on for my friend's birthday. Alex, if you're watching, look away. The yarn is from Coast to Coast Yarn Co. And the colorway is Gymnopolis. This is from the Mush Club, September 2021. It's the signature sock base, 100% superwash merino. And I am making the Musselburgh hat. Musselburgh, I'm not really sure how to say it, but I am making that with a fingering weight yarn for the first time. But I started with the written cast on, which creates this nice little like loop in the middle. And I've worked all of my increases and like found my stitch gauge, and I'm just kind of working flat in the round now. The fun thing about this pattern is that you can really use any weight yarn and any size needles, and then you work the increases as written, and then you measure your gauge and either continue increases or stop increases, just kind of depending on your gauge. And then you knit like a big long tube, and then you do the same thing just in decreases. So the bummer is that I can't try this on because it's on 16-inch needles, but I guess I could take it off and try it on, but I do think that it's going to be a good size. And I'm curious to see how I feel about it when it's done, because I've never knit this pattern before and it's widely popular in the knitting world. So I'd love to make one for myself eventually, but for now I've got this one. The yarn is working up really pretty, and I think it's a nice, like, somewhat lightweight because it's fingering weight, but the collar, the brim will end up being like 4, right? Yeah, 4 thick, because it's doubled and then folded over. So it'll be 4 layers. I think that's right. If I need it, I do have a second skein of this in my stash, but I'm really thinking that this is going to be enough to knit this beanie. And her birthday has come and gone already, but I will gift it to her when it's done. And that's that. Okay, let's talk about some languishing whips. And then I do have a few like future plans. So the first one, I don't remember who it was, but I was on Instagram just kind of scrolling around, and I heard someone talking about whip down January, like taking your languishing whips and just kind of finishing them out in the beginning of the year. It is January 22nd, so I'm a little late on this party, but we're gonna go and whip down in February. But I have several projects that are like super close to the end that I haven't picked up in months, and I would love to just get off my needles. So one of them is the October Colorwork Cuff Club socks by Summerly Knits, and I'm like 1 2/3 done with the sock. The first one is already finished. I did the ghost colorwork chart, obviously. I did a pop of color here, and then I also did a stripe on the toe. So this is the first one. And then I think I've finished the gusset, but I'm not sure. I'll have to count my... Actually, I took out a stitch marker, which means I did finish the gusset. So all I have left on the second one is the foot and the toe. So realistically, like, this is a day's worth of knitting. Not even. Like, I could easily finish this tonight if I wanted to. I just need to actually do it. And then that would be another pair of socks finished this year that I'm not counting towards my 12, but could be used for my 12 if I find myself in a bind. I do not remember what yarn this is. I just had it in my stash, but I love the ghost chart in this pattern. The Colorwork Cuff Club is a club by Summerly Knits, and when I joined it, it was $12, and you get a Colorwork Cuff chart or 2 per month for a year, and it started in September, I think, and it's been really fun. I've done a couple of the charts now, and I have the rest of them if I end up wanting to do them later. Okay, another languishing whip is one that's so old that I don't even have it written down what I'm doing. But this is the Anchor's Tea Baby, I believe, by Petite Knit. And I have finished the body. I just need to do sleeves. I am not sure what size this is. I do have the stitches on hold, so I'll count the stitches in order to find that out. Actually, I might have done that already. Let me see. When I was making notes for this, it looks like size 6 to 9 months, but this is much larger than 6 to 9 months, so my gauge was very far off. But anyways, I would love to just knit a couple of sleeves and have a finished baby sweater to gift to one of the many babies in my life. Everyone that I know, I'm at this age in my life, I'm in my like mid-30s, and everyone that I know is either pregnant or trying to become pregnant. So there are babies coming out of all of my friends and I want to knit them all something. So this is something that's nice because it's almost done and it can just be something that I like put in my cabinets, and then if I run out of time, I'm like, here, it's gender neutral, it can go for boys or girls, here is a finished sweater that I can give someone. So I would love to get this off my needle soon as well. It's so old that I was using my Leica interchangeable needle set to knit it. And I've had my Chiagus for, that's not gonna focus, but it's fine, for at least 2 years. Looks like I'm knitting this on a 3.25 millimeter needle. So yeah, hopefully can get that off the needles and free up a bag as well. And then the last one, Shelby, if you're watching, look away, is a blanket that this is the project that got me back into knitting and crochet. I was in a really big slump up until last year and 2024. And I had gotten in Advent from Coast to Coast Yarn Co. in 2013. Nope. Huh. Yeah, it was 2023, because the main skein for this is New Year's Day 2024. And I knitted up, or crocheted up, so many granny squares to make a baby blanket. And that's what I'm gonna do. All of the squares are done. I am out of all of the mini skeins of yarn, and I just have this main skein left to join all the squares together. So I just need to kind of like plot them out and then join them, and then I have a finished baby blanket. I would really, really love to get this finished in the next couple of months so that I can gift it to someone that is very near and dear to my heart. And yeah. Okay, acquisitions slash plans. My biggest plan right now is to cake this bad boy up. This is Odang DK by the Farmer's Daughters Fibers. This is the colorway Legend. It's just straight up black, and it's a DK weight Surrey. And I want to make the broom sweater by Andrea Mowry. I know. I've been talking about it for months. I haven't done it. I am itching, and I have to cake up yarn for my balloon cardigan like today, so I'm gonna cake this up too so that it is caked and ready, because I'm itching to cast on. Even though I said I wasn't gonna cast anything on, this is an exception and will probably get casted on, because I'm really itching to do a in the round sweater, because everything that I have on the needles right now is you work one row, knit, and then purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. My balloon cardigan's like that. I'm working half fisherman's rib for the mini season sweaters, and they are purl, and then the fisherman's rib pattern, and I'm just really tired of purling right now. So I need some simpler projects on my needles. Another plan that I have in the works, for Black Friday, I think, I ordered a bunch of this Lion Brand 100% superwash merino. It is DK weight. I ordered enough to make a couple of baby blankets. I'm planning on using the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose because that's right now my hyperfixation blanket pattern. I love that pattern so much, and I'm currently working up one for myself. I'm not sharing it today because if I shared it every podcast episode, you would never see it grow. But this is going to be the main color for one of them. And then what's funny is that I did not plan this with my sweater today, but these are going to be the contrast colors. So it's very like Hudson Bay. I think that's the name for this like color combination. and I'm really excited. So the colorways are Midnight Blue, Marmalade, Paprika, Hunter, and then the main color is Antique. And again, I got these when they were on sale for Black Friday, and I got enough to make a baby blanket. I only got one, so I'm planning on making a 5x5, so 5 squares wide, 5 squares long, and I got one of each of these contrast colors, which I'm hoping is enough. I think it will be enough because it's held single because it's a DK weight, and then I got 4 of the main color, so it should work out perfectly. Oops. To get a 5x5 square, but I will keep you guys updated. I haven't started this project, and it's like not super priority on my cast on list, so I'm not sure when that will be cast on, but I will let you know the progress as I cast it on. Okay, my last acquisition is something that I ordered at the end of the year. I ordered it on December 30th, so it did not break my yarn ban because I have not bought any yarn in 2025, okay? This is yarn by Hello Stella, and if you know me, you know that I love and support basically anything that Lindsay could ever possibly make, I support. She started doing this, the Wild Wool collections, and so this is 100% Canadian sheep's wool. It's untreated but dyed. It's a 2-ply, 4 ounces is 220 yards, and it's woolen spun. It has this is a colorway peak, but it has this little blurb on it that says, "This wool comes from the east coast of Canada. The mill has been in production since 1902. All their fiber is sourced from the maritime provinces." So this is really pretty. So I got 4 skeins of this color, which is cedar, and I'm dying to have a sweater in this color. But I also got a few like contrast colors. I'm thinking about what is the pattern? It left my brain. I would love to make the Norma sweater by My Favorite Things using this as the main color. Again, this is cedar. And then I also got 3 contrast colors to choose from. This is Gloom or Glum. This is Ochre. And this is Rain Cloud. But may I just hold all of these together because I cannot get this color combo out of my head right now. It's so beautiful. And so I'm thinking, let me look at this pattern. I think that it only calls for 2 contrast colors. They're A, B, C. Yeah, so I will have to pick what colors, like these 3? These 3? I don't love that actually. Or like these 3 maybe? I don't know, I'm gonna have to choose, but oh my gosh, I love these colors so much. So yeah, this is not an immediate cast on plan, but this color combination has me swooning right now, so I don't know if I'll be able to resist the urge anytime soon. But I think that that's everything that I wanted to share. Kind of a quick one today. I didn't give a ton of details because I feel like these are all projects that I've talked about several times before, but hopefully they will all get off my needles soon so we can talk about some new stuff. I hope that you enjoyed what you were watching. If you were working on something while you were watching, I'd love to hear what you were working on. And if you have cast on plans in the near future, I'd love to hear what you're planning on working up. Next week, I will be posting my craft vlog, or craft room renovation vlog. And then a week or 2 after that, I will jump back in with another podcast episode. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch what I've been up to, and I will see you in the next one. Happy knitting.